Reeve Carney, please.
It is an interesting and somewhat macabre parlor game to play at a large gathering like this, to speculate who in a showdown would go Nazi. By now I think I know. I've gone through the experience many times in Germany, in Austria, and in France. I've come to know the types, the born Nazis, the Nazis whom democracy itself has created, the certain to be fellow travelers. And I also know those who never, under any conceivable circumstances, would become Nazis. At any rate, let us look around the room. I think young D over there is the only born Nazi in the room. Young D is the spoiled only son of a doting mother. He has never been crossed in his life. He spends his time at the game of seeing what he can get away with. He is constantly arrested for speeding, and his mother pays the fines. He has been ruthless towards 2 wives, and his mother pays the alimony. His life is spent in sensation-seeking and theatricality. He is utterly inconsiderate of everybody. He is very good-looking in a vacuous, cavalier way, and inordinately vain. He would certainly fancy himself in a uniform that gave him a chance to swagger and lord it over others. H, on the other side of this room, is an historian. He is American of Dutch ancestry, born and reared in the Middle West. He has been in love with America all his life. He can recite whole chapters of Thoreau, volumes of American poetry. He knows Jefferson's letters, Hamilton's papers, Lincoln's speeches. He is a collector of early American furniture, lives in New England, runs a farm for a hobby and doesn't lose much money on it, and loathes parties like this one. He has a ribald and manly sense of humor, is unconventional, and lost a college professorship because of a love affair. Afterward, he married the lady and lived happily ever after as the wages of sin. H has never doubted his own authentic Americanism for one instant. This is his country. His ancestors fought in the Revolutionary War and in all wars since. He is certainly an intellectual, but an intellectual smelling slightly of cow barns and damp tweeds. He is the most good-natured and genial man alive, but if anyone ever tries to take this country over, make it into an imitation of Hitler's, Mussolini's, or Pétain's systems, H will grab a gun and fight. It is his secret conviction that nobody whose ancestors have not been in this country since before the Civil War really understands America or would really fight for it against Nazism or any other foreignism in a showdown. But H is wrong. There is one other person in the room who would fight alongside H, and he is not even an American citizen. He is a young German emigre whom I brought along to the party. The people in the room look at him rather askance because he's so Germanic, so very blonde-haired, so very blue-eyed, so tanned that somehow you expect him to be wearing shorts. He looks like the model of a Nazi. His English is flawed. He learned it only 5 years ago. He comes from an old East Prussian family. All his German friends went Nazi without exception. He has devoured volumes of American history, knows Whitman by heart, wonders why so few Americans have ever really read the Federalist Papers, believes in the United States of Europe, the union of the English-speaking world, and the coming democratic revolution all over the earth. He believes that America is the country of creative evolution. Once it shakes off its middle-class complacency, its bureaucratized, I'm not pronouncing this right, bureaucratized industry. There we go. The first time was closest. Bureaucratized industry. Thank you. There was a little staple here, so I'm going to start that sentence again to give it a fair shot. He believes that America is the people in this room think he is not an American, but he is more American than almost any of them. He has discovered America, and his spirit is the spirit of the pioneers. He is furious with America because it does not realize its strength and beauty and power.